Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, Aenor found herself walking physically in the Fade, a feat that has not been accomplished since the days of old when the Magisters assaulted the Golden City. And we are also joined by the Divine, her ghost, a spirit of faith that believes it's her. I mean, you know, whatever she is, she's offering help. So if she wants to be called the Divine, then fuck it, we can call her the Divine. And as you can see, Aenor's missing memories are there, waiting to be recovered. Now, I haven't really spoken about how Aenor feels about her memory. To be honest, she hasn't really thought about it. Obviously, she knew that she was missing some memories. She remembers being at the Conclave, listening to what was going on, watching, trying to be stealthy. And then the next thing she remembers is waking up in that prison cell and Cassandra and Liliana were there. You know, obviously, there was a large chunk of memories that she couldn't really remember. And I wouldn't necessarily say that she was, you know, upset or anything like that. Concerned. Yeah, definitely concerned, but she wasn't distraught or anything like that. And to be honest, if she hadn't been kept so busy, then maybe she would be more emotional about this, but things have been so hectic. She hasn't had any downtime recently, so she hasn't really been able to focus very much on it. I think, you know, she was probably thinking that once Corypheus is dead and I'm less stressed, maybe the memories will return on their own. Maybe the reason why I can't remember is because, you know, maybe I suffered some kind of head trauma, or it was just so traumatic my psyche blocked it out, and then when I'm less stressed, maybe things will return back to normal. I doubt she ever thought that she'd recover the memories in the Fade. That she could never have predicted this. I think she's a little nervous to get these memories back. You know, what happened, what went on during that time, but she's not afraid. I think she wants to know, how did she end up with the anchor on her hand? She does really want to know that. So, first one.
Run while you can! Want them!
Mm-hmm. That sounds very familiar.
What's going on here?
As does that one. This is all stuff we heard during the no, I want that. Let me loot. Thank you kindly. Yeah, this is stuff that we heard at the beginning of the game. Let me face the thing. There we go. Yeah, when we closed the... Was it the breach? The first big rift. Very early on in the game, like in the first 5 episodes, we saw a shadowy figure that was later revealed to be Corypheus. We could see Justinia, and we heard this little snippet of conversation. So we've nothing too shocking so far.
Why are you doing this? You, of all people.
That's new. We haven't heard that one.
Why are you doing this? You, of all people.
Keep the sacrifice still.
Someone, help me! going on here?
So that mark on your hand, it wasn't sent by Andraste. It came from that orb Corypheus was using.
Corypheus intended to rip open the veil, use the anchor to enter the Fade, and throw open the doors of the Black City. Not for the old gods, but for himself. When you disrupted his plan, the orb bestowed the anchor upon you instead.
Oh, and there's the truth. There's the truth of it. I do like that cutscene. I will admit that there are two things I don't like about it. One is the what's going on here, because we have heard two different versions of that. You know, the first time we heard it, it was what's going on here, and then in the true version, what's going on here? I'm like, I don't like the fact that that is different. I wish it had been one standard thing. Also, the fact that Aenor is wearing her current get-up rather than the clothes she was wearing at the beginning of the game. That, I'm not too fond of that. However, I can kind of explain it away. I don't know if you noticed, but the far corners of that cutscene are clearly the Fade. Some walls are walls, but some walls are Fade. So, clearly these memories are being influenced by the Fade somewhat. So, you know, maybe that's why it's a little bit different. It's reacting to what is currently going on and the emotions at the time and the emotions now, that kind of thing. So it wasn't Andraste. This is what I suspected. Let's keep moving. That doesn't help. Oh. What? Not this one. Aenor never believed it was Andraste, and she'd have a reaction. I dislike the stoic options for Aenor. Here's the thing, this is what she suspected. However, to be honest, I'm not super fond of where this line goes. But it starts off pretty decently, you know, where she's saying, I never thought that the Maker was involved. But then she kind of follows it up with, this was always just me, my actions, and my actions alone, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of sounds a little big-headed to me. Though here's the thing, I don't know why she'd be angry in this situation. You know, oh, that doesn't help me at all, blah, blah, blah. I get, what does Aenor feel about that memory? To be honest, I don't think she feels much of anything, because again, that's still not the full memory. It's part of it. Clearly, she must have seen something dodgy. Maybe she saw a flash of blue and thought, hold up, that's grey wood and blue. Why would there be a grey wood in here? And, you know, presumably she followed them down, you know, opened up the door, saw grey wardens, a big fuck-off darkspawn, and there's the Divine floating in the air. Maybe that's why she sounded so aggressive. She was like, what the heck is this shit? And, you know, then, you know, she baps the ball. It comes rolling over. For some reason, I don't know why Aenor's first thing was like, well, clearly I should pick up the electrified orb doodad. Yeah, I should totally be touching magical gubbins that I don't know anything about. But yeah, she picked it up, but then what happened afterwards? That still doesn't explain, you know, some of what happened. It doesn't explain, you know, how she got in the Fade and all of that. So, I don't think she'd have a big outburst until she had all of the pictures in place, until she could see everything that happened. Like I said, I just hate the stoic ones for Aenor. I can't stand them. They don't sound like her at all. So, And maybe this is Aenor. Maybe she is gloating a little bit. Everyone has kept insisting, oh, it was Andraste, it was the Maker, it was Andraste and the Maker. And she has been thoroughly ignored. Despite the fact that she was the one who was there. Yeah, she couldn't remember. But, you know, maybe she had a gut feeling because somewhere deep down, you know, she knew. But no, we're going to ignore that because, you know, we're the Chantry and we know best. Therefore, it was Andraste and the Maker. So maybe, you know, because Cassandra has been a massive pain in Aenor's behind because she has been one of the people who has been propagating that viewpoint so much. She's been going super hard on that line of thought. So maybe she's looking over at Cassandra a little bit and going, oh, really? I was right. Who would have thought it?
I never thought Andraste did this. I did this myself, through my actions. No Maker required.
And now you may be certain. You cannot escape the lair of the Nightmare until you regain all that it took from you. You have recovered some of yourself, but now it knows you are here. You must make haste. I will prepare the way ahead.
What's wrong, Hawk?
I wondered if you might be concerned about the Grey Wardens holding the Divine in that vision. Their actions led to her death.
I assumed Corypheus took their minds. You've seen it happen yourself. Come on. You can add it to the things to yell at the Wardens about when we get out of here.
Oh, I intend to.
Oh, I love it.
Truly have been the most holy?
We have survived in the Fade physically. Perhaps she did as well. Or, if it is a spirit that identifies so strongly with Justinia that it believes it is her, how can we say it is not?
Whatever she is, she seems to want to help us.
I'm less concerned with her than I am with the nightmare she mentioned.
Sounds like it preys on fear. Stealing people's memories. That's low, even for a demon.
Fear is a very old, very strong feeling. It predates love, pride, compassion, every emotion. Save perhaps desire. Be wary. The Nightmare will do anything in its power to weaken our resolve.
But after what it did to the Wardens, it's going to learn to fear for itself.
Oh, what I was gonna say is that I loved Hawk's response because again, it fits Amelia so well. You know, she ended Dragon Age 2 having lost pretty much any respect that she had for the Wardens. She didn't love the Order, but she at the very least respected them. And then there were just so many instances of the Wardens acting either a little shitty, shall we say, you know, not helping Kirkwall when the city was on fire, people were dying, and they were like, well, yeah, we only give a shit about Darkspawn, so we're not gonna help, even though people are dying. You know, she kind of thought, oh, like, that's shitty of you, you're right here, why can't you help? And then learning that apparently the hero of Ferelden made a deal with a talking Darkspawn, all of that, she just lost any respect that she had for the Wardens. And then seeing that cutscene, seeing that memory, bearing in mind, Amelia hasn't lost her faith. She still wholeheartedly believes in the Maker and all of that gubbins. And the Divine is the closest person on Thedas, on this world. They are the closest thing to the Maker. That is as close to divinity as you can get. And the Grey Warden mages are holding her in the air. Oh my, like her blood would be boiling. She would be like, she's clearly holding her tongue. She's like, you know, like there are scary things about, like I'm trying my hardest not to have an emotional breakdown over here, but like, holy shit, I knew the Wardens were scumbags, but I can't believe they're that big a scumbags. Like, that's clearly what she's thinking right now. Hello. You alright?
Finish business.
scream if you please. And a bap. There we go. Nicely done, people. A letter written in a shaking hand. Son, by the time you read this, the Darkspawn poison will have claimed me. We gave all at Starkhaven, and we bought time for the Wardens to slay the Archdemon. But when I smelled the corruption in my wound, I knew I would not live to see you again. Phyrus will want men to search the battlefield. He sees Starkhaven as rising to greatness, and the weapons of 100 dead Grey Wardens lying unclaimed on the ground will help him conquer the Free Marchers. You must refuse. The battlefield is soaked in poison, and no speech, no bullying, no taunts about cowardice can change that. Anything that roams that battlefield now will die. Stall him however you must, and watch for the crows. Those birds have the good sense to fear the blight. When you see them gather, then you will know that the poison is gone, and it is safe to search the battlefield for trinkets to satisfy Phyrus. I will not be here to guide you, son, so you must learn from the crows. They watch patiently, and they let their fear keep them alive. Please, I beg you, watch the crows and do the same. Sora. Wise advice. Very wise advice. Crows are clever birds. Oh, yoink. Hello, you alright? Yeah, nothing over there. Up we go. This place, it's... I do think that Aenor would be rather...
We have a visitor. Some silly little girl comes to steal the fear I kindly lifted from her shoulders. You should have thanked me and left your fear where it lay, forgotten. You think the pain will make you stronger. What fool filled your mind with such drivel? The only one who grows stronger from your fear is me. But you are a guest here in my home. So by all means, let me return what you have forgotten.
I was about to say I do think that Aenor would be a little creeped out by being in the Fade. If she wasn't before, she certainly is now. Oh, I love that. The Nightmare has the same voice actor as Corypheus, and to be honest, whilst I do rather think they fucked up Corypheus something royal in this game. They did not do him the justice he deserves. Can I thank you? His voice acting is on point. I have zero qualms when it comes to the quality of that man's voice. Holy shit. Like, his performance is top notch. The game did the character dirty, but they hired a fantastic voice actor. The Claws of Dumat. Master unveiled a new altar. It stands higher than a man, like a great statue, and great spikes jut out from its length, hungry for blood. Master calls it the Claw of Dumat, and says that the altar will help bring Tevinter to glory. I praised it, as was expected, and Master smiled. It was good to see him smile again. He has been fearful of late, vexed by the loss of followers. He has met with the other priests, and in secret, I have heard them discussing ways to return the people of Tevinter to the ways of the old gods, as is only just. He spoke to me later in the day, and asked that I call him Corypheus, as it was the name he would take for himself after a ritual. Master, now Corypheus, told me that my people, the elves of old, were tied to the Fade, and that in order to carry out the will of Dumat, he would need to call upon the magic that lives in our blood. Corypheus told me to gather all of the elven servants and bring them to the western hall of our home at midnight. That is the hall where the Claw of Dumat is now kept. There are shackles across the top of the great altar, and pools lined with runes beneath the claws. I have sent my wife and children away, but have not warned the others. A few I may save. If I tried to save us all, we would only be killed in some other way, and others would die in our place. Master once laughed and joked. He could be stern, but he was not a cruel man. The weakening of the temples brought fear into his heart, and that fear has changed him. The cuts upon his arms are deeper and longer where he used his blood magic more often. He speaks to his wife little. He listens only to the voices in his dreams. It is almost midnight. The claws of Dumat, great and spiked and merciless, is all my mind can see. I must gather the others. My family is safe. Corypheus will take me, but not those I love. Words somehow preserved in blood at the statue's base. My goodness, that is a thing of terror. Flippin' heck. I do have to wonder how it would be used. Perhaps they'd be impaled on top of it and the blood would run down? Perhaps, maybe? I don't know. Now then, I'ma just explore the area because some might argue that, you know, Fade loot is cursed loot, but no, I disagree. I want all of it. And then, yes, hello there. Fear of the Dreamers, the Freeholder. I watched the Blight take my land. I had nowhere to go. I tended the fields as I had, even as my flock died and my family sickened. My body racked by pain and chills. I saw too late the poison that had crept into the land. In my fever dreams, the sickness covered this whole world, and I wept in fear for the family I killed with my foolish pride. Show me this world survives. Show me that the poison does not take everything. Well, here you can have some flowers. Ooh, +1 constitution. Thank you kindly, I do appreciate it. And I'ma take your Viridian Crystal, because I can. Okay, yeah, that's where we came from. This is the way forwards. Oh, I love the Nightmare. The Nightmare's only in this one mission, but ooh, he has such a presence. To be fair, that could be because of the voice actor. I can't remember the voice actor's name, but oh, his voice is magnificent. Rather like Loghain's voice actor, I think. Hey, +1 dexterity from a broken alluvian.
What are those things?
War. And corruption. I love that they're all named. They're feelings, but they are all, you know, fears that, you know, a person might have. The fear of war, the fear of corruption. Oh, I love it. That is a completely unnecessary detail, but I love that they added that. Also, these were the things chasing Aenor at the beginning of the game. I do think she'd remember that. Okay, which way do we want to go? So the Divine is there. I feel like this way is probably the way forward, so let's go over here. I have a few things that I want to say, but I'm also like, I know that the Nightmare chimes in occasionally, and I don't want to cut him off.
What's this?
Something terrifying. Excerpt from a journal. They think they own us. Think they decide whether we live or die. They sit there smug in their armour, ready to cut off our heads for the slightest transgression, as though we don't strive every day to stay sane, to keep the demons away. They can't control us any longer. I won't go back to the circle, not ever. I thought about it last night, being back in the tower, their eyes on me, and all of it came back. All the years, head down, don't clench your fingers, be a good mage, be a quiet mage. And I realised I don't want to make peace with the Templars. I want them to burn. Want it so badly that the bed caught fire and wouldn't go out until Ivan iced it all over. It's still there inside me. I want them to feel the fear they made me feel. I want them to know what it's like. We're leaving for the Conclave in a few hours. If those bastards so much as blink the wrong way, I'll let them see what an apostate looks like. From the Journal of an Unknown Mage. Oh, flipping it. Hi there. You're right. Yeah, no, sir. No, sir. You can't be doing this. This is... I get you're angry, but murder isn't the solution. Thank you. Is it the same thing? Okay, yeah, it's the same thing. We'll leave it be then.
Perhaps I should be afraid, facing the most powerful members of the Inquisition. Once again, Hawk is in danger because of you, Varric. You found the red lyrium. You brought Hawk here.
Just keep talking, Smiley.
Smiley! Even the nightmare gets a nickname. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, look at that. Can you do one of these, please? And a spinny spin. And we go back. So I was about to say, Solus, do you want to heal? Nah, he's got it. Back, there we go. Keep on smacking it. Okay, it looks like it's just the 2 rage demons left. Having speed, there we go. And I'm back. Nice. And come on. Good night.
Your Inquisitor is a fraud, Cassandra. Yet more evidence there is no Maker, that all your faith has been for naught.
Die in the void, demon.
Oh, I will say, if you bring Blackwall here, his taunt is one of my favourites. I can't remember what it is word for word, but there's nothing like a good Grey Warden, and you are nothing like a Grey Warden. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Let's see what was it? Okay, I see something up there. Oh, it's not good seeing red lyrium in the Fade. That is that's disturbing, shall we say. Oh, hello there. Where did you guys come from? One of these, if you please. And then we back. Oh, just the one left, I think. There we go.
Döth ma Herelan. Mabanal inasalin. Marsolas ina Martin.
Bonal nadas.
I like that we don't get a translation for that. Even though Aenor is Dalish, I take that she couldn't understand what they were saying. In kind of like how when you're dreaming and there's words, you can't ever really read them. It's that kind of thing, despite it being in Elvish, and it's not a particularly... It's not an untranslatable sentence. You know, I know what it means. You know, it is a fairly simple sentence. She can't understand it just because of the location she's in. You know what? I'm gonna have what the demon said in the bottom of the screen and what Solus's reply was. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that the last line is, your pride will be your downfall. Because Solus does mean pride. And Banal Nadas, I think that means you are nothing. I think. Either way, the translation will be on screen for you all. Now that you know what, I'm just about out of time for this episode. In the next one, we continue making our way through the Fade. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.